Just having a look at ESI's chart, and on Friday I was quite bullish on this, and I was thinking that next week, by the end of next week, we should be trading in the fours, 4 cent range quite easily, probably mid fours. Reasons why is there's been the downtrend, and this is the downtrend lines here. It's now broken out of, and it's got this slight 25-degree uptrend. I've also put in here a Andrews pitchfork, and the degree there is more like 30 degree. We've got a MACD buy signal in here. Friday's action, some were saying it was a little bit weak, but I thought it was quite very strong. If we have a look here and just see how far the stock traded above the Bollinger Band, and it was always interesting to see when the 200-day moving average in here got hit, that was going to be a top. It's going to have a couple of goes at pushing through that, and also the old gap at 3.8 still hasn't been taken out. So gaps sort of tend to be a bit of a resistance point. In here we've got around the 3.2 mark. I think it's 3.2 on this chart, and on the weekly chart it's about 3.1. So 3.1, 3.2 is old resistance now becomes support. So you'd be expecting that to be a support along there. The other thing to note too is the MAs. Whenever you get the red and the green crossing up through the blue, we tend to have a run up, okay, and a good little run up, and we had one here, we had one here, and we've also got one now trying to occur here. And even though this candle here could be a candle top, if you do have a look back here when the moving averages crossed, we had basically the same candle form, okay, and then we had another candle bottom in here the next day, and bang bang up she went again. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be expecting, because this is a bullish move, it did gap up, and that sort of gave you a signal. It was a Friday, it gapped up, it hit the 200-day moving average. Of course it was going to come back, there was no doubt about that, and I think it was even T3 as well. Even though the traders are in here, I think the stock's probably being accumulated at these levels more than anything. I wouldn't be surprised if we did open up in this range and have another shot at the gap and the 200-day moving average on Monday's open. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I'd be looking at there, and I think it's quite a healthy little build up of a uptrend here. It's quite a volatile stock because of I suppose you'd call the FA on it. It could do anything, you know, like these guys have been working at this for years, and it sounds like they're finally getting to it. Let's just have a look at the indicators, okay, and here you can still see the MACD is on the up, okay, the SCOF the same. Volumes are now on the up, and this stock to me last week had a bit of a different feel to the way it was trading, and even though that's a small sell in there, on Monday if it does open up a little bit higher, they will straighten out, and they will then be on top of the DEMA. They're the short entries here, just like it was here, and when it does that, it's in a bullish mode. Okay, the RSI is still around about 50, so there's plenty for it to turn and go. Just want to have a look at the weekly chart while we're here. Okay, again, Andrew's pitchfork in here, just a nice little start of a uptrend in here. Okay, basically this is the sort of angle I'd like to see it gradually go up through. Once it sort of passes through this standard error channel in here, okay, pops out of that and then pops out of this, she should toddle along quite nicely, and probably might just settle down a bit as well, is what I'd be thinking. And here we had the old resistance, should now become support along this line here. and I've got that around about 3-1 on this chart. Also on the weekly, the other thing to look at is on the indicators. Okay, MACD looks like it's gonna turn to the up. We could put a line along here, and move that up a little bit. You could do something. So yeah, not totally convinced at the moment, but it is looking like she wants to turn and head in the right direction. Okay, this is our SCOTH. Weekly volumes are on the up as well. That's something else to look at here. And weekly, the DEMA and the short entries are kicking into a buy. Okay, so that's a pretty good sign, and that's the weekly chart. It's more the longer term chart is something else that I'd be thinking of. There's one other little chart we're going to have a look at here and just see if it shows us anything. Chart 1. We've got a little bit of time. This is candle volume chart, and what you can basically see here, this is all the volume where this has been bought. Okay, not a great deal of selling volume, more buying volume in here, more buying volume again selling volume was quite low, so that would suggest to me that again the stock is being accumulated at these levels is one thing I'd be sitting there and looking at with that. So yeah, just to come back to the daily chart once again, I reckon that is looking pretty good as a nice little start of a new uptrend, and hopefully we can sort of push up to the Andrews midline here. But yeah, I like I was saying, I was thinking that this stock has a different feel about it, and I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the week if we're mid-fours. But anyway, that's me.